All right, true crime fans, it's me, Patti Lee. We're up to on our 23rd episode here, July, I think it's the 26th, Case 4. All right, so this one, I even did a live about this. This is the Kaitlin Armstrong case. And we, in the past, I have looked at all the possibilities, and I really felt like maybe Kaitlin didn't do it, right? I mean, was the gun, there was no ballistic match. Well, now we have a ballistic match. So the gun left in the house that Colin bought Kaitlin was a ballistic match for the bullets used and found at the scene that were used to hurt Anna Mariah Wilson, otherwise known as Mo. So that's for sure. Now, I was still thinking, so there's two people involved, and if you look at all the affidavits and all the evidence, both individuals were at Mariah, where she was staying, at that residence at about the same time. Both Colin and Kaitlin were seen, around that home at the exact same time. Now, I always thought it was weird. Who would know that Mo was alone? Who could get Mo in the bathroom by themselves? Like, even if you had a gun and you went up into someone's house, and we don't know, it doesn't say if Mo was dressed or not. Like, was Mo taking a shower after going swimming? So that would make her more vulnerable, right, to anybody. That would explain it could be a woman then. But if Kaitlin just found her in the home, how'd she get her in the bathroom and push her in there? And then, and then supposedly Kaitlin just got this gun in January, and the only person that said she was going to, unalive Mo was an anonymous source, which can't be used in court. So I was like, okay, so Colin bought the gun. Colin was also there. Colin had a relationship with this woman. Mo was sort of like pressuring Colin, like, are we on or are we off? What's going on? And Mo's girlfriend did say, no, they had an on and off thing. It wasn't just that one time in October. So was Colin feeling pressured by Mo? Colin was with Mo all day. He would know that nobody else was in the apartment, right? He would know which apartment Mo was in. Was it the front of the house or was it over the garage? Because it was the over the garage apartment. Anyways, I always thought maybe Kaitlin was chasing Colin's phone, and that's why she was in the area, because his ping, like if you do Find My iPhone, the little blue circle, and it sometimes is there a little bit after you've been someplace, right? So I thought, oh, that could explain it. Okay, so here's the deal. Kaitlin has a lawyer. The lawyer, there was the initial arraignment, and Kaitlin said not guilty. Her lawyer had a short press conference. He took no questions. He brought up, though, that the prosecution, he said, like, we have whatever defense attorneys say, we have lots more information, we don't believe this, my client's innocent. But then he said Mo had another ex-boyfriend who had made threats against her, and that Colin and Kaitlin's home, the night of the murders, had been vandalized. Now, I have not seen a report that they did, was this vandalization reported, and what was this vandalization? Or was this just what they said later? That's like a news story. But here's the problem. The gun matched the one in the house. The gun matched the one in the house. So it's Kaitlin or Colin, because the gun was in their house. So for Kaitlin's attorney to bring up the SOD or some other dude theory, all of a sudden, people, my theory sounds like a knucklehead theory. Hashtag knucklehead. Shout out to the docket. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. I had a whole big argument on Twitter about, let's think of all the possibilities. And now Disappointed in you, Kaitlin. That wasn't the defense. That some other dude does not explain the ballistics. If that ballistic match is as it looks, no. So there was uploaded additional information from the prosecution. The some other dude, it's not some other dude did not put that gun in your house. Now, there was also a thing of, so she applied to be indigent, but apparently she owns a home. And I did map the home, and everybody was like, oh, the home was closer to the apartment. Okay, so here's the deal. No, the address of her home that she owns and the home she was staying with at Colin are both, like, they are within 5 minutes of each other, and both of those homes are about 15 minutes away from where Mo was staying. So they were saying, oh, she went to that, I mean, and I assume police are looking at that home, that they were saying she went to that home and maybe that's where there's more evidence because she, you know, you would have splatter on you and other forensic evidence. So she could have gone there and undressed, and I mean, if that's what happened. And that would explain, Colin said, again, this is all Colin said, but if it really wasn't Kaitlin, she should be blaming Colin. And instead, her defense is blaming some other dude. So, Kaitlin, girl. That is not logically nor physiologically, like, that doesn't match. It's not the story to go with. Disappointed in you, Kaitlin. Disappointed. I look forward to hearing more from her defense attorney, but if they're going with some other dude, I'm going with the, looks like you did it. And if you've been following my channel, you know I really was pulling for, maybe it was a reverse Gone Girl. Maybe Colin. I mean, yeah, Colin, no offense, Colin, you still look like a douche. You do. To me personally. And why are you dating two girls at one time? Yeah, that's how people get killed. You're effing around with people's feelings. Not that you're at fault, but you know, not legally at fault, for sure. Morally, ethically, Colin, quit effing around. Could you just not, Colin? Oh God, and I looked at his pictures. I don't know. And everybody, I don't know if he has BDE. If you know, you know. But no, I don't see. Both girls looked way cuter and way better than he. Like, I don't know how he pulled that off and had them at each other. Whatever, dude. So that's where we are with that case. So with our big cases, I'm also gonna hit quickly in this segment the Vallow Daybell case. I talked a little bit about this when I did my live, but it was hot, and I don't think I was cogent so much, maybe. I don't know. So the consumptive testing was the big deal, and there's lots of channels. Nate Eaton talked to Joe Scott Morgan of Body Bags. Love that podcast. Please go listen to it. You will love it. Nate Eaton, great East Idaho news reporter. I will just say, and Hidden True Crime also discussed this with Lori Hollis. The DNA that they're looking at, the dark spots, which we think are blood or matter, on the pickaxe and a shovel, the matter that was found underneath JJ's fingernails, the ridge pattern that was found on the tape, all of these things. This is not the only testing, and there's hairs. We don't know if there's a bulb where they can get full DNA or if it's just the hair, which they can get the mitochondrial, which is from the mom's side DNA only. What we know is that for things this small, consumptive testing is testing that will consume the item that they're testing. And it is the evidence of the state. The state gathered this evidence, and the state will test this evidence. This is a formality, people. And they made this statement once before, but then Lori was incompetent, and now that everything's, you know, we're all going along and everybody's on the same page with this is going to happen, hopefully. So that's the deal. John Breyer needs a death penalty qualified co-counsel. In my opinion, that is just my speculation, because while Scott Reich of Crime Talk might think that John Breyer is holding his own, he ain't. He doesn't have the experience. You can't get experience except by doing it, and he doesn't have this experience because he's in the midst of doing it, and, you know, trying to disqualify the prosecutors and spending all that mess of time doing that, which is ridiculous. And now he's trying to stop testing by the state. It's the state's evidence, no sugar pie. What you need to be doing is getting your expert ready to observe. That's what you need to be fighting for. Maybe you should talk to Lori's attorneys. Work with them. Watch what they do, John. Because your old boy, good old boy from, you know, Colorado, yeah, I'm sure it flies with some people, but you look like a hick. And the deal is, they're going to test that DNA. It's going to be consumed. Your best bet is to get in there and to ensure that you have a qualified observer. That's the deal. That's my free advice to you, John. Free. You know, like most things, it might be exactly worth what you paid for it. So that's where we are. Don't buy into the drama of, oh my God, are they going to test it? Yeah, they're going to test it. It's their evidence. This is just a formality. And to make a big deal out of it, like John Breyer he is the judge. What was it, Onito, the OJ's judge? Like, just to grandstand and get your attention is not like, yeah, John Breyer, I get it. You feel like you're the BMOC. You're the big man on campus. But why don't you focus on your client? You need a good expert. Get your expert and get in there and make sure that you have access to observe the testing. That should be, anyways, according to me, your focus, John. Just saying. All right, so that's where we stand with the Daybell case. You know, this DNA is not their only, this consumptive testing isn't their own testing. This is just the stuff that will actually be consumed. So this isn't the whole ball game either. So it was just interesting, as Lori Hollis pointed out, that we got to see that. So my main sources for this were the Nate Eaton interview with Joe Scott Morgan, sorry, dyslexic detective, and Hidden True Crime with Lori Hollis. Go watch that. Very interesting. And we'll hear more about that, right? We're going to hear, as Emily D. Baker would say, the motions in lemonade or in limine, meaning the pretrial motions. We're all getting that now because we're getting geared up to go. This is going to happen in January, and it'll be here before you know it. All right? And should we talk? Oh, now I have a bunch of cases next.